What's up, everybody? Good morning. I hate I can't see anybody's face, but we will keep moving. Hey, what's up, Mateo? How you doing, bro? And Greta and David with the Simpsons background and Sophia. What's up? Good morning. I never get up this early for anybody but money and kids come first. Thank y'all for having me. I am comedian Ron G, and I live one of the best life ever. I travel all over the world. I make people laugh. I'm currently on tour. And I've been doing comedy for over 15 years, and I live a really good life. I was a finalist on the show on NBC called Last Comic Standing. There was another show on HBO called Insecure that I was on. I'm currently in a movie right now that you can find. It's I think it was in the theaters called 80 for Brady. The Tom Brady. Do y'all know who Tom Brady is? Thumbs up. Tom Brady. Very popular American football player. He's probably the best, the GOAT. Um, and I've been literally almost everywhere on the planet, and I live a really good life.
So do you mind if we just jump right into some student questions? That way we can let you go.
Let's go.
All right. So one of the kids, they had emailed, this came from a student in Spain, and he wanted to know, and guys, keep them coming in the chat, or you can email them to me. How did you get first started in the world of comedy? Did you always know that that was something that you wanted to do?
So I used to be an accountant. I went to college to be an accountant, and I got fired from every job I ever had because I was silly. And nobody really trusts you with their money when you're silly. But when I moved to Atlanta, I'm originally from Columbia, South Carolina. When I moved to Atlanta, my cousin was a comic, and he suggests that I perform at Apollo Night, which is like a really rough comedy room where they boo you if you're not funny. And I tried it one time, and I went on stage, and they booed me really bad, and I fell in love. And I kept performing, and I got better at it, and I studied my craft, and I watched people who did it. And I think after 8 months, I got my first standing ovation, and then I moved to LA, and that's when it became a career because I do a lot of cool stuff. I do commercials. I've shot a lot of big name commercials. Last year, I shot a. Do y'all have Pandora over there for music? Pandora Music. Y'all know what that is?
That's worldwide, so I'm sure some of them.
Yeah. So Pandora, I was featured in a Pandora commercial. Also, there was a. Do y'all know who the Golden State Warriors are? Only the best basketball team ever. Steph Curry. Steph Curry with the shot. There you go. I shot a commercial with Klay Thompson, which is I'm gonna tell you, he's so funny. I shot a commercial with Klay Thompson, who is one of the Splash Brothers, as well. And like I said, I do cool stuff. And actually, I did a voiceover for a video game as well.
That is, and we have a lot of gamers here as well.
Of course we do. Pretty sure David.
So I'm getting questions that are coming for acting, producing, and comedy. So we'll stick with comedy for a minute. What's the hardest part about being a comedian? Is it coming up with material, dealing with the tough crowds, or something completely different?
I think the hardest part about being a comic is balance, because you're away from your family a lot. You have access to alcohol and drinking. You have a lot of really bad, greasy food. And if you don't manage your life and try to eat healthy and know your own appetite, it can get the best of you. So, and then the traveling, I have a little one. I have a 2-month-old, he's over here asleep right now. I'm currently in a hotel right now because I was filming something yesterday. But yeah, being away from your family is really tough. And it's also, it's scary because, you have really good moments where you're getting a lot of money, and then you have moments where nothing is happening. You feel like you don't know how you're gonna pay your rent. Like I've been doing it long enough that I don't have that issue anymore. But yeah, it's a really tough thing where every season of your business can be completely different.
Absolutely. And this is going to come from me because we have a lot of our guest speakers, they push on following your passions.
Yep.
And it's clear there's like, the upper echelon of the entertainment industry is very wealthy.
Yep.
But what motivates you when it comes to entertainment? It's clear you're very passionate into acting, very passionate in producing and writing, and clearly very talented and passionate about being a comedian. What kind of draws you to that passion? Like what drives you?
Honestly, I feel like God told me this is what I'm supposed to do, and that changes everything because I never get tired, and I really love what I do. So nobody tells you this, but the things that frustrate you in your childhood, the things that you might not like about your family, the things that frustrate you in like the people that you grew up with, usually is the ingredient for helping you become who you are. But nobody tells you that. Meaning, like, I grew up in a household where everybody used to roast each other. I don't know what y'all call it in your country, but we call it roasting each other, where we pick at each other, and that was a way of coping in my family. And the funnier you are, usually you don't get in trouble if you're funny, but if you're not funny, you usually got in trouble. So I didn't know when I was a kid that the thing that makes me that allowed me to like feel heard and seen now makes me money. I also did a TED talk. Do y'all know what a TED talk is? Okay, so I did a TED talk about making your weirdo work for you. So I was the baby in my household, and I was kind of like a weirdo because most of the time, the oldest, they, are grown and like, get out my face, kid. And so I would go play by myself, and I would watch a lot of TV. And every time I saw something on TV, I could do the voice of it. And when I told story, I would become the person that I was talking about. And I didn't realize until I started doing comedy, like that's the reason why I was given these gifts. So just like how Ralph was like, all right, so we have a guest today. His name's Ron. Ron, we all talk about our passion. Is there anything you can tell us about pursuing your passion? And like I could become anybody that I talk about. So when we used to pick at each other, TikTok, yes, I'm on TikTok. I would become the person I was talking about. So when I did my TED talk was about making your weirdo work for you. All the things that make me weird as a kid now make me money. But when you're a kid, you take it as I'm weird, I'm different, this is stupid. But now all the little weird noises and sounds that I did, or like when I told story, I would become the person I'm talking about, now make me a lot of money.
And you're very, very good at what you do.
Thank you,
One
bro.
of the kids, they wanted to know, and we'll wrap up in about 6 minutes. So guys, keep your questions coming. So they wanted to know, how do you deal with nerves, whether it's before you're going on stage or before you're getting in front of the camera? How do you deal with that as an entertainer?
So the best way to deal with nerves is repetition. The more you do the thing that you're scared of, the easier it becomes. It's almost like playing sports. If you're scared to shoot, but if you practice shooting when the camera is not on, that's when you get better. So my suggestion to get better at what you do is to do more of it, the thing that you're scared of. And on the other side of the fear is the thing that you're looking for, which is the confidence. And confidence comes from repetition and being sure that you're good at what you do by practicing when no one's watching. That's more important than anything else.
That's great advice. So one of our kids, and this came from a kid in France, and they wanted to know, out of all the things that you have done,
What's up, France?
what are you most proud of professionally?
So I won an Emmy. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but I won an Emmy for a show I did for CNN. I don't know if y'all know what CNN is, but I was a consulting producer for a show on CNN that won an Emmy. And basically, a consulting producer is you write the funny for the show. So there was a lot of voiceovers. There was a lot of there was a stand-up portion, and I wrote all the stand-up and funny for the show. And again, like I said, as a kid, I was always silly, and I saw in pictures. So when somebody did something or said something, I would see it in my head and bust out laughing. People are like, why are you laughing? And I was like, oh, that's a funny joke. You know what I'm saying? So now, again, because I see it in pictures, when I wrote for the TV show, when somebody says something crazy or off the wall, I'm like, oh, you know what? That would be a really great joke. And I would write it down. And that's literally how I won an Emmy.
That is incredible, and that's like probably like the top 0.0001% of the planet. So congratulations for that. So we'll go with two more questions. So one of our kids, they want to know, this came from Florida, and they wanted to know who has been the best person to collaborate with. because we know that you've done a lot of collaborations like throughout your career.
So, I live in Los Angeles and I host at a venue called the Laugh Factory. It's called the world famous Laugh Factory, and every comedian comes there to perform. So, I had a chance to watch Chris Rock work out his Oscar performance. He was hosting the Oscars. I had a chance to do that. I had a chance to work with David Chappelle. David Chappelle and came and worked out a special at my venue, and then also Kevin Hart. I know y'all know who Kevin Hart is. Kevin Hart came and performed as well at the venue that I work at. So literally all the big name comedians come to where I host at on Sundays and perform.
Man, that is a lot. Like the biggest and the best in the industry of comedy, and you're in one of the meccas for comedy. So
Yeah.
that's incredible. The things that you've been able to witness firsthand. We have
Yeah.
a question from David, and he is from
And
Spain.
let me add this too. Depending on what you want to do for a living, you have to move to a place where you can have a career in that if you really want to do it. Meaning, like, if you want to be a stand-up comedian, a good place to move is New York City or Los Angeles. But if you want to be an actor, usually you have to move to LA to become an actor. So you can have a dream in your head, but you have to move to a place where you can actually get it done. Like if somebody wants to do music, like Atlanta is a great city for music. Nashville is a good city for music, and also Los Angeles is a great city for music. So you have to move to a place where you have an opportunity to become what you want to be.
And from my recollection, you're from the South, right? Are you from
Yeah, I'm from
South
South
Carolina?
Carolina.
South Carolina, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So we
SC.
have a what's up?
I said SC.
Yeah, SC. There we go. All right. So David from Spain, go ahead and ask your question, friend.
Okay, what is some advice you can give for me? I'm trying to write the stories, but everyone think I'm a fool, and I cannot do that. I'm starting to write a book and some things like that. What is some advice you could give me?
So I'm not sure if you heard the whole thing, but David's interested in writing.
Uh-huh.
And what kind of advice could you give to him starting out in writing?
There's a few books. I think I have one on me. There's a few books on screenwriting that you probably want to, if that's what you want to do, screenwriting, and then also formats on writing a book. Usually, I'm a student of studying. I'm kind of old school. I'm a fan of studying authors and writers that you like first and learning their format. Just like when you watch a TV show or a sitcom, there's a format to it where there's a setup, there's an issue, there's a problem, and then there's a journey, and then there's a twist at the end, and then there's a resolve. It's always the same format, you know? So you should study writers that you like and then learn their format and see how they do it, because even if you like their format, you have to add your own seasoning to figure out your version of what they do, you know? And sometimes too, just writing and getting it out of your head is the best step, because I know you have a lot of brilliant, amazing ideas in your head, even the Simpsons background. I love it. But I suggest that you just write and get it out your head, you know, and just keep writing, and eventually you'll find out what works for you, because it takes a long time to find your formula and your format.
That is phenomenal advice. All right, Ron. So it's getting kind of late for some of our kids in Eastern Europe, so we're going to let you go. But before we let you go, one last question. Is there any advice that you could give to these kids as they go off into the world and kind of figure out what kind of lives they want to lead?
So if you want to do entertainment, find your path, find the thing that you really love to do, and do that. As a kid, if you want to do comedy, I'm pretty sure if you ask your parents and they believe in what you're doing, you can start going to comedy clubs now with you if you have someone to watch you. If they don't believe in you, which I've learned myself, sometimes the people close to you won't get your dream. Like when I first started doing comedy, my mama didn't get it. She was like, "Why do you do comedy?" And I'm like, "I love it." But then when I took off and I started doing stuff on TV, she's like, "I love what you do and I'm your biggest fan." So they might not always get it. Also, if you want to be in entertainment, the best way, or not the quickest way to be seen, is to get on TikTok and get on Instagram and shoot videos every day until you find an agent. Whatever you like to do. Like ladies, if you like doing makeup, if you like singing, if you like playing a guitar, if you like doing comedy, get on social media and post a video every single day. no days off. I post literally every single day, and I have a really great career, but I still post on social media. So social media is kind of the shortcut, and I think because y'all so young and impressionable, I think it's great. Like, find a thing you love to do and post a video every single day. But you'll know when it's your passion because you'll think about it all the time. And even if money wasn't involved, you'll still want to do it. Like I said, I live a really great life, and I shot something really cool yesterday, and hopefully it airs soon. And I can't wait for y'all to see it.
That is great. All right, Ron, congratulations on all of the blessings, both with your professional career and the new baby. Congratulations for all that stuff. But before we let you go, before I end the meeting for all, I'm going to allow everyone to unmute. And can we all, can we say thank you to Ron? Don't shout it out, but just say thank you to Ron for taking time out of his valuable day to come talk to you guys. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ron. This is
Hey,
great.
thank y'all, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Bro, you're
y'all.
great.